Hey, I just wanted to give a disclaimer before you watch this video. I haven't been able to provide what I wanted to do of a explanation of what my faith is like and relay that personal experience to someone who grew up as an atheist or who just has an atheist-like worldview. I just more or less just say when I became a Christian and other personal moments regarding my faith. I don't think I did what I wanted to do with the explanation I came up with. So I think it's just that it's one of those personal topics that I need more time to think about. I can't force it to come up to the surface and explain it away so quickly. It's just that I want to give it more time. And so in the process, instead of just deciding not to do a video about my faith, I'm just gonna submit the previous video I did anyway as a quick explanation. I just want to say that this is, well, I would say I explained, I wouldn't say explain, I just said all the significant events, but I didn't do a good job of relaying the emotional experience very well. And even what emotion I did say, I would say it's just more of a first draft. A first draft, because those were the first times I seriously tried to relay my perspective to someone who didn't have a similar experience to my upbringing. So I want to give more time to myself. As well as that, I recorded this disclaimer this morning, but I had to delete it because when I woke up early and did it, I had to keep quiet because I didn't want to wake both of my parents up. And I realized, I need to actually make sure I do this when there's no one around so that I wouldn't be mumbling all the time. So, yeah. And if you enjoy the video, that's great, because I hope to keep improving on explaining and communicating more about myself, so I'll be more understandable to different types of people. Okay, enjoy the rest of the video. I was trying to figure out for a couple of hours now how to explain myself and my faith. I even wrote like a whole script, but after doing it a couple of times, I figured out I might as well do it from the chest, so that I can actually sound like I'm not dead. So, why am I a Christian? Well, I believe it has to come from my personality, because I'm a type 6 on the Enneagram with a 5 wing. That means that I seek base security, and what I believe in is Jesus' teachings. And, well, let's say like the base belief of a Christian is that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, and he rose from the grave, like after being crucified by the Roman state when he was dead for 3 days, and then rose back to life and conquered sin and death. That's my base belief. But other than that, there's his teachings, which is from the Old Testament, which is summarized because Jesus was the ultimate teacher. He said to love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and 2 is to love your neighbor as yourself. Anyway, I'm not a pastor. What I think I'm trying to say is, well, what is from my perspective on my faith? Well, my faith has always just been motivated me to care about people. And, well, I say it did take a long time for those teachings to eventually crystallize in me. It's also because I read about socialism and Marxism, and it forms a synthesis with my Christian beliefs to make me a more caring person. It's still gotta take time for me to actually do kind things for other people in order to make it a foundation. But I think I'm good so far. Yeah. It's weird. It's like faith is one of the most troubling things I could try to explain about. Because again, I did have a script, but it's just about my history of my faith. It's not actually like, why do I think the way I do about my faith? I think it's just more of a foundation of myself. Now, do I absolutely not question everything in the Bible? Of course not. I mean, thanks to Liberation Theology and Who is Damon from YouTube, I've been able to look at the Bible in a whole fresh new way, and reading different types of theology is helping me realize, not everything in the Bible is literally meant to be taken as true. Some is just like symbolic metaphors of, especially the fact that the biblical creation story is similar to the Babylonian creation story. So if I think Genesis is literally true, then what about the Babylonian creation story? See, it's just I could be like abstract all day, and that's the problem. I just want to make something more concrete, and for right now, I got nothing that actually explains my side of the story. Not story, just my perspective. Because when I got onto the internet, I didn't gravitate to any Christian thought bubbles that I doubt exist nowadays with, conservative Christian evangelical spaces. I gravitated to the internet as you know it. It's one that is largely characterized by the atheist movement on YouTube. Of course, like the core nexus of the atheist movement moved on to Gamergate and anti-SJW culture. The fabric is generally anti-religious. Not anti-religious in like a discrimination way. It's just like the internet's more of a safe space, I would say, from religious parents and the churches they grew up under and wanted to express themselves. That's what I think it is. It's just, I don't need to justify my faith. It's just that I want to be able to explain it to people like them. And it's just, I think it's just more of like security and foundation. And then from there, I can figure out I can benefit people. And what I've learned that when I was younger, I thought, if people believe that Jesus Christ rose from the dead and have a personal relationship with him, then their lives could get magically better and it'll be like new people. But what I realized is they may get a new spirit, but they still have the body, and the body is gonna get sick. What if they're not gonna be able to have a good shelter or wear clothes that will keep them warm when the winter comes? So I think I would prefer to help them in a more material way. Spiritual way is good and all, but I want to figure out how I can benefit them systematically. That's what I have grown up to be better. As well is the fact that I am trans, which inspired me to read more deeply into how the Bible is, because the Bible just keeps getting misinterpreted all the time. I mean, did you even know that the word homosexual in the Bible hasn't been written as homosexual in history until in the 20th century, where it was translated that way? Yeah, I think it's easier for me now, because again, I read my script twice and I've just gone through it fast. Saying it so fast is like I can barely catch my breath. But now it's just great that I can be myself and don't have to worry about making my voice correct. Yeah, there isn't really any great narrative here. It's just that I like a firm foundation for me to help people. And it's a good moral foundation. I think it's... yeah. that's generally it.